Hi, I'm Stephanie Valinsky, Deputy Director at the Illinois Supreme Court Commission on Professionalism. Welcome to Reimagining Law. Today I'm joined by Michael Bergmann, Executive Director of the Public Interest Law Initiative, also commonly known as PILI. Michael, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Stephanie.
PILI started a new COVID-19 Legal Answers Task Force. Can you tell us what that is and then also how lawyers can get involved?
Sure. So PILI is the statewide administrator for Illinois Free Legal Answers. And that's a website where low-income people can go on and ask a question, and then volunteer lawyers can come along and answer them. We typically get a lot of questions without really having to do a lot of outreach to the public about the site. So when the pandemic hit, we thought this was a good way to help people, being that it's virtual. But we wanted to get the word out more broadly to make sure that the public knew about it. But we didn't want to do that until we knew we also had enough volunteer lawyers who were ready, willing, and able to jump on and answer questions pretty quickly as they came through. So that's what led us to launching the COVID-19 Illinois Free Legal Answers Task Force. And the idea behind it was simply just to get a sense for how many lawyers were out there willing to answer questions, and in what areas were they willing to help out. The site really focuses on civil legal questions, and so just wanted to have a sense for what the capacity was. What was awesome about it was within about a week and a half, we had over 100 volunteer lawyers who said they were ready and willing and able to answer questions. And so they've been logging on and answering questions. We typically see a queue of about 50 to 100 questions at any given time. Earlier this week, we were as low as 3 questions sitting in the queue,
Wow.
which is amazing. We're getting new questions every day. The number of questions is slowly starting to uptick. As we get more and more word out there, we expect that will continue. I think one of the challenges right now is that folks are not necessarily appreciating the legal elements of some of the issues they're facing, or that there are legal elements. We definitely think that over time we're going to continue to see the volume increase. But again, we've had a great response from lawyers all around the state answering those questions just as quickly as they come in. Information about the task force is available on our website, pili.org. Right on the homepage, there's a banner about the task force. You can click on that, learn more about it, and get signed up with us.
All right, excellent. That's great. People are stepping up. We've obviously heard on the news a lot of, the issues that people are facing, like, huge amounts of unemployment, for example. Have you noticed what types of questions are you getting through the legal answers?
So our typical questions kind of mirror what you typically expect to see in civil legal aid. It's typically family law, consumer debt type questions, and then housing, mortgage foreclosure, landlord-tenant type things. As the pandemic wears on, we're seeing a lot of housing stuff come up. That's a big area, certainly. We're also seeing a lot of job-related stuff. So unemployment, issues about furloughing. We're also seeing a lot of debt questions, student loan debt, consumer debt, and things like that. So those are the areas we're seeing. Family is still a big area. Overall, we're hearing, certainly if people are reading the news, there's a lot of concern about an increase in domestic violence. Our questions haven't yet focused on the domestic violence issues yet, but just generally family questions. But that's kind of the general areas that we're seeing a lot in.
Okay. All right. And I know that obviously one of the bread and butter things of PILI is your internship and fellowship program. And a lot of that takes place during the summer, which is obviously coming up here. What is going on with that? And are people still doing that? And are there still opportunities available for people to sign up for that?
Well, I can tell you it's going to be a summer like no other. Right now, we are expected to go forward and to have our interns and fellows in the field this summer. We've not heard from any interns or fellows that they're not able to do it or not wanting to. We've not heard from any of our agencies that they're not able to host. But it's going to be about flexibility and creativity. I think those are going to be the words of the summer. And it may require some or a lot of remote work. And so we're talking with our agencies as well as our interns and fellows about that possibility. We had really hoped to be able to gather together our interns and fellows in person for our day-long orientation and our weekly educational sessions. We think those are a really critical part of our internship and fellowship programs. Unfortunately, with what's going on right now, at least for the first half of the summer, that's not going to be possible. So we're right now working on shifting what would have been our live programming for orientation and for at least June into virtual programming. We still want to have the programming. We think that's a great part of what our program is about, but we're definitely having to rethink and to take a virtual approach to a lot of the programming, at least for the first half, if not the entire summer. But hopefully, one way or another, with a lot of creativity, flexibility, and a whole lot of patience, I'm hopeful that we'll still have a robust summer program that will allow for a really transformative educational experience for the interns and fellows, as well as a meaningful opportunity for the agencies to get some help to assist those in need. There are still a few agencies that are hiring. Usually by about this point in any year, we are mostly full, but there are still some opportunities, and more information about the internship and fellowship programs are also available on our website.
All right, excellent, excellent. And obviously, as you're, talking about being flexible and everything is, changing, kind of up in the air, I do think, and we've been seeing that obviously the legal profession itself has to kind of take a look at itself and rethink some things. And obviously, PILI really focuses on access to justice issues. So in the process of the, legal profession rethinking things, how would you suggest that they look at and rethink what we're doing on access to justice issues?
Well, I think one of the things that some of us have been willing and eager to do, and others have been hesitant to do, is to embrace technology. We've known each other for a long time, Stephanie, and I think this is our first time ever on a video webinar conference type thing. I still don't actually even know what to call these things. But I think really taking a look at technology and thinking about how technology can connect us all and offer help when it's not as easy to do. I'm particularly thinking about our rural communities around the state where there are so few lawyers available to help, and how we could harness the great resources we have in the larger parts of the state to help those in need through technology, whether it's Illinois Free Legal Answers or other creative ways of thinking about and using technology to bring assistance to people in need around the state. And I think the other thing is to think about kind of how we help, right, in a legal sense. All of us, I think, believe that the best option for somebody in need of legal help is a lawyer from start to finish. And in an ideal world, that is the best solution. But in a realistic world where there's not enough funding, where there aren't enough people, both legal aid staff and pro bono attorneys to help in full representation, we've got to think about other ways to help them, other things we can do to provide assistance, and thinking about limited scope representation as an opportunity to do that, or these remote opportunities and ways in which we're thinking about working with clients now. I'm seeing a lot of ingenuity and creativity on the part of private practitioners and thinking about how to get service to their clients. Let's start thinking about how to bring those services to those who need free legal services as well. And so I think just, I said before, the buzzwords are flexibility and creativity. And I also think it should be technology and collaboration that gets added to that list. And thinking about ways that we can really bring ourselves together, think creatively and innovatively about how to help those in need, not just during the pandemic, but beyond.
Thank you so much, Michael, for joining me and taking the time to be with us today. And thank you and PILI for all that you do. It is now needed more than ever. For those watching, please like and share this video and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on new episodes. Information on how to stay connected to both the Commission and PILI is in the notes. Thank you so much for watching.